How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. Going to be going through the rest of these matches for round one over in Rome. As always, before we do, I'm going to ask you to like the video, get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not. Appreciate it if you did. We continue to grow each and every day. Get yourself involved. I'd love to have you. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description, or you can just share some thanks by click on the thanks just below the video. We received a decent one in yesterday's video. Shouts out to you. You know who you are. But now that's out the way, first things first, how did we get on in day one? Did we like it? Did we not? Did we win? Did we lose? Did we come close? Don't be shy, share with the group. I'll go first. I had Francisco Commissania to beat Daniel Altmaier, and that's exactly what he done. Very, very pleased with that. Look, quick cash, early winner, first off as well. Can't ask for anything more. Since I got an early winner, I figured I may as well just do an early video for day two. But yeah, get yourself involved. Let me know what happened with day one. And now that's out the way, we'll get into day two. Let's get cracking with these. So, rinse and repeat, same as yesterday. Really, we're still in the first round. We've got to see who turns up and who doesn't. So keep it simple, keep it sensible. Don't be going crazy. There's some tough ones today. I'm not gonna lie. There's quite a few, quite a lot of tough ones. We'll start off with this now. I'm pretty sure this is the correct order. It may not be, but it doesn't really matter because it's all time stamped anyway. But first off, we have got Alexander Vukic, Nicholas Moreno, the Alboran. This is just first of many coin flips, like I've just said. Odds are split right down the middle, obviously. I just can't go anywhere near Alexander Vukic, the form he's in. 7 wins, 14 losses on the year, 3 and 5 on the clay. Moreno de Alboran's only played 4 games so far this season. This guy's season started last week. He didn't qualify for Madrid. He actually got beat by none other than Alexander Vukic over in Portugal on the Challenger 2-1. And then he's just got through qualifying for Rome. Rafael Colognon straight sets, and then Julio Zeppieri 2-1. Now, what are the odds? It's May. You've only played 4 games all season, all 4 coming on the clay, and one of the losses just happens to be Alexander Vukic. You know, that's what we're dealing with. That really is what we're dealing with. I don't know. Rough, innit? It's so rough. I don't know who to trust on this. I've seen nothing from Alexander Vukic all season that would allow me to go anywhere near him. As far as betting's concerned, if I was just, for the sake of the predictions, he's just beat him. He's literally just beat him last week. 6-3, 2-6, and then he bageled him in the 3rd set. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Take either one for a set. Probably just take Vukic for a set. That's probably as far as I'd go with that. And then we will crack on with Jesper de Jong, Alexander Shevchenko. This is another one. Now, Jesper de Jong didn't even qualify for this tournament. He ended up getting beat by Thiago Seyboth. Second round qualifying, he got past Harold Mayo straight sets and then got beat in straight sets by the Brazilian. Shevchenko looked decent in qualifying, got past Vukic and then ended up getting past Vuskovic as well. Straight set to the pair. Now he's quite a decent dog in this. I was a little bit shocked when I seen that 2.5 as a dog. Now I get it to some extent. I'm fully aware of how inconsistent and how untrustworthy Alexander Shevchenko could be. 6 and 8 on the season. 6 and 8 on the clay, 10 and 16 on the season, as opposed to de Jong 15 and 4 on the year, 11 and 9 on the clay. It's been a couple of years. Since Shevchenko's put in a fairly solid season out on the clay, but then again, I'd say it's been a couple of years since he's put in a fairly solid season as a whole. Jesper de Jong, 1.5. You didn't even qualify. Coming up against someone who's just flew through qualifying in straight sets, and you're a 1.5 favourite. I don't know. I don't really like that. I don't like that personally. I understand that Jesper de Jong is much more proven in this, well, a lot more proven on the surface anyway. I'll give him that. But if you can't qualify for the main draw, you are not filling me full of hope when it comes to actually taking you in the main draw. So we'll see. I'll assess the situation. I'll see how he gets on. Just because you didn't qualify doesn't necessarily mean you stand no chance. I said that a few times yesterday, and I'll just say it again today. But they've been so different. If both of them had just qualified the exact same, I'd have took de Jong, especially at that price. It feels like they're begging you to take him, but I don't know. He struggled. He struggled against Seyboth. Maybe just take Shevchenko for a set. That's hard to say. Take him for a set. I'm not picking that with much conviction. As a matter of fact, I am not telling you to take that at all. I'm just not so convinced de Jong's going to go out there and dog walk this guy when, like I said, you couldn't qualify. So what are the odds you'd actually get through this one? But moving on, we've got Matteo Arnaldi, Roberto Bautista Agut. This should be easy. This is a tailor-made spot. Tailor-made for Matteo Arnaldi to just advance to the next round. If he can't get past Bautista Agut at his home Masters, I don't know. Especially after the run he's just put on in Madrid. He looked decent until he bumped into Jack Draper in the quarterfinals. Beat Borna Koric, Djokovic, Demir Juma, big foe. Solid. Solid as anything. That's a lot more. I've seen more in Madrid than what I've seen out of Matteo Arnaldi all season. 12-10 on the year, 4-3 on the clay. Bautista Agut 4-11, 4 wins, 11 losses overall. It's not impersonal. We know where we stand, especially at this point in his career. I think it's safe to say if you're one of the few losses, one of the few wins this guy manages to get from here on out, you're very, very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. If you've bet against him anyway, I'd say 1.3. Wow, that's very steep. That's very, very steep. I do think Matteo Arnaldi gets this one done. He will have the crowd on his side. Barely 1.3. That is too steep for me. I was going to say it is a decent parlay piece. It's at that price, but that's a little bit of a price to pay for Arnaldi to potentially just come into this one and look not unlike what he did last week. So I do think he wins. But as far as a bet, I wouldn't be taking that at 1.3. Absolutely not. So we'll crack on with Hugo Gaston and Nicolas Jarry. There's not a lot of meat on the bone today, is there? Well, as of yet anyway. There's a couple of better ones littered throughout. We'll get to them shortly. But for now, we've got Nicolas Jarry. Hugo Gaston. Hugo Gaston on a 2-game losing streak. Sebastian Hoffner beat him, and then he had to pull out against Borna Gosho over on the Challenger Tour. That was last week. So how fit is he coming into this? I'm not so sure. 3-8 on the clay this year. 4-6 rather. Pardon me, it was 4-8. I was right the first time for Nicolas Jarry. Both of them just bang out of form. 11-15 for Gaston, 6-10 for Jarry. He's strung a couple of. He's got more wins the past week or two than what I'd seen him get all season. You know, that one against Daniel Altmaier. He got 2 over on the Challenger Tour. Got beat by Pellegrino in the quarterfinals. He's still not there. I don't even know why I'm bothering. I don't touch these Hugo Gaston games, even if I'm taking them or if I'm going against them. So you do with that one what you will. And we'll crack on to probably the one everyone's looking forward to the most. We've got Fabian Marozsan, Joao Fonseca. These have never played each other before. We're getting Joao Fonseca around 1.4, quite a decent favourite, and I expected nothing less. He's good, isn't he? He's good. Safe to say, probably the hottest prospect we've got on the tour at the moment, around about, something like that. He's really good. I think he's got more than enough in the bag to get past Fabian Marozsan on the day. I really do. I know Fabian Marozsan can be a tricky customer. He can be tough to beat on the day. He's went 5-3 on the clay so far this year. Fonseca has went 6-3. But you know, the season as a whole, we were talking 13 wins, 11 losses for Fabian Marozsan, and then 23 wins and 7 losses for Joao Fonseca. He's already won three titles, 2 or 3 titles. I think he's won 3. I'm not too sure. He won in Argentina, I remember that, and then he won the Phoenix Challenger after that. Did he win one earlier on in the season? I'm not too sure. Don't crucify me for not remembering that, but I imagine there's a few of you out there that'll correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, point being, he's really good. He's been absolutely flying this year. I mean, 23-7. That's as good as some of the best, innit? So I'm expecting him to get past Fabian Marozsan. I am. You know, he got beat by the Demon in Miami. I'll let him off with that. He did just come off the title in Phoenix. Beat Lien, Hugo Humbert. Beat by the Demon. He's just beat Elmer Moller. Got beat by Tommy Paul in Madrid. I said that had happened, but it was a close game. Could have went either way. Now, slight concern on this one. He did play Jesper de Jong in Portugal last week, and he got fucked up by him as well. He got absolutely drilled by this guy. 6-2 in the first, and then 7-5. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Now, you could look at that as an absolute shitter, and that is probably worrying, slightly worrying, coming into this match against Fabian Marozsan. Or you could look at it like this. I mean, maybe it was just a bit of a look ahead. Maybe he weren't exerting himself too much coming into Rome. I don't know. For the sake of the outright pick that I've got pinned in the in the pinned comments at the bottom somewhere with the rest of them, I hope Joao Fonseca gets this done. If he's brought that band of lunatics with him from over in Brazil that he always does, he always has that crowd, does he not? I think that could work wonders for this guy. It usually does. He's just been better overall. I don't really know what I'm pondering on that much. It's got to be Joao Fonseca today, and in first round, he's usually good to go. What is he? What did I say he was? 1.4? 1.4, 1.5, roundabout, depending where you look. I think he gets it done. Like I say, he's already had 2 titles. He's already got a clay title as well. That was over in Argentina on the tour. I think he's more than capable of getting past Fabian Marozsan in the first round over in Rome. So we'll leave that at that, and then we'll crack on with this one. We've got Mariano Navone and Fearnley. Getting Navone, call it 1.2. Never played each other before. Now, this is a massive spread. I have been looking at the majority of these Italians, especially early doors, especially the dogs. You know, they tend to play a lot better at home, don't they? They find a lot more inspiration in front of the home crowd. Fearnley, I think I speak for everyone when I say I know how good he is. I know the talent that lies within this kid. But I think I speak for everyone when I say I have not seen enough. I am yet to see enough from this guy, and so is anyone. He's only been playing on the tour since 2022. 11-4 this year, 10-2 on the hard court, 1-2 on the clay. He is good. I'll give him that. But he's just been smoked by Collignon over on the Challenger Tour. He got beat by Sebastian Korda. He did manage to take a set. He's beat Wong. Drilled by Dimitrov. He got past Comesaña first round in Miami. Very close game. Very, very close. So that 2 tiebreakers? Yeah. But then before that, he got beat by Kuzmanov, is it? Yeah, Kuzmanov. Over on the Challenger Tour. 6-4, 6-2. That spread's going to be around 5.5, with the price being what it currently is. We know what we're going to get from Mariano Navone on the clay. He's very good. Very, very good. Very tough to beat. With it being 5.5 and with the young lad being at home, everyone's going to want to see this guy win. I would like to think he can keep it within the 5.5. But if you can't keep it within 5.5 against Rafael Collignon, and if you can't keep it within 5.5 against Kuzmanov, what are the chances that you cover this against Mariano Navone? I'm just saying, it's food for thought. He's the biggest favourite of the day, believe it or not. Navone, that is. So yeah, you do with that one what you will. And we will move on to Nuno Borges and Thiago Seyboth. Getting Nuno Borges at a slight favourite in this one. The head-to-head is 2-0 to the Brazilian. Yeah, both on the hard court, both of them last year as well. Winston-Salem and over in Miami, both in straight sets. Aye. Borges is fairly decent on the. I'd say he's fairly decent on the clay. He's fairly decent everywhere, and I think we know what we're gonna get. I think he's had a fairly consistent enough season. He tends to win one, lose one, win two, lose one. Can't remember when I seen him string a decent, set of wins together other than two. But yeah, look at this. He's won 5 of his last 10. There you go. Proves my point. Beaten by Zizou Bergs, Carbias Brenes, Tsitsipas, Davidovich Fekina, Kekmanovic. Then he's beat Fuskovic, Carreño Busta, Pedro Martinez. Said beats Holger Rune, ended up retiring in that one. And he just about got past Rafael Collignon over in Marrakesh. Seyboth, he hasn't really been in the greatest of form, am I correct in saying that? I haven't really paid much attention to him. Yeah, 7 wins, 14 losses, 6 and 8 on the clay, 1 and 4 on the hard court. Only got 7 wins all year, and 4 of them have come within the last week. Yeah, 2 on the Challenger, and then 2 in qualifying for this very tournament. Just mentioned in there, he beat Jesper de Jong in the second round straight sets. I don't know, Seyboth, I think he's a lot more suited to the clay, don't you? I think he'd most definitely admit that. He definitely prefers the clay. Nuno Borges, I'd consider him a little bit more of a hardcore player, but he can get down on the dirt as well. I don't know, Seyboth flew. He's absolutely flew through qualifying. Nuno Borges, first round. He should be good. He should be good to go. 1.65, 1.7. It is only a slight favourite. I wouldn't mind taking Seyboth for a set. I don't really touch this guy as far as bets are concerned, but I do think Nuno Borges is a slightly better player. With it being on the clay, that does change things quite a little bit. We'll see how it goes. That could go over. That could be an over spot. It could be an over spot, rather. Pardon me. That could be an over spot. I heard a noise outside and that just completely threw me off then. What the fuck happened there? I can see the pair of them just trying to dog it out against each other. And then I think we're at the halfway point, yeah. Halfway, folks. If you're still watching, like the video, get yourself subscribed, all that shit. Appreciate it if you did. And then we'll go through a few more. We'll do a few more, and then we'll just sweep up the stragglers and the shite towards the end, same as yesterday. And then come tomorrow, the second round, we'll be able to dive into them a little bit deeper. But we will go with, Gabe Diallo, Marcus Giron. Get 1.7 for Gabe Diallo, slight favourite in this one. Never played each other before. 7 and 5 on the clay for Diallo this season. 2 and 4 for Marcus Giron. I don't know what's going to happen in this. It will be interesting. I'm not saying take Giron as a dog. I'm not. I'm just saying be very wary of Gabe Diallo. I didn't expect him to go half as deep as what he did over in Madrid until he bumped into Lorenzo Musetti. Just going off what we seen last week, you'd say he should beat Marcus Giron. You would. Zizou Bergs, Kamila Majorach, Cam Norrie, Grigor Dimitrov, and then obviously got beaten straight sets by Musetti, 6-4, 6-3. No shame in that. No shame in that. Musetti is one of the best on the tour at the moment. Is he going to be a little bit goosed coming into this? A little bit worse for wear? I'm not too sure. We shall wait and see. Good price for him though, 1.7. I just feel like they're begging you to take him. It might be just a little bit of a trap. Let's just see how he holds up. Like I said, he did go on a deep run. He played some solid games, well, very long ones. Apart from the first match against Zizou Bergs, the rest of them went 3 sets, and then obviously the loss to Musetti. But if you want to take him for a set, I couldn't talk it off at that. I think that should be alright. He went 18 and 14 on the year, 12 and 10 for Giron. 2 and 4 this year. He's never really been that much of a clay player, never. And with the very small sample size we've got from Gabe Diallo, I'd say it's pretty much too soon to say what he's going to turn out like overall on the dirt. I think Giron for a set would be like the sleeper pick, wouldn't it? Or just take him to win. I'm not too sure. I think he could definitely work a way around this one. Diallo might be just too much. Might be too much for Marcus Giron. This kid's massive. And he presents a very bullying style when you let him pull it off. So Giron could very well struggle with that. But we shall wait and see. And we'll go with Alexander Bublik, Roman Safiullin. Once again, odds are identical, 1.8 for Bublik, very slight favourite. These have played each other twice before, once last year in Shanghai and then once in 2020 on the clay. Roman Safiullin has won both of them. I'd be surprised if he wins this one and goes for the hat-trick. I really would. How the tables turn. Now, I never trust Roman Safiullin. I always say, don't I, he's very untrustworthy. He can play out of his skin, shit out one day, and then put in an absolute stinker the next. You just never know what version you're going to get. Alexander Bublik, I mean, we spoke about him all year. He was in quite a shitter. He was been in the mud all season. Up until late, managing to turn it round slowly but surely. 12 and 13 on the year. He's went here 5 and 3 on the clay, as opposed to 9 and 10 on the season for Safiullin, 3 and 2 on the dirt. Now, hands up, he was impressed with Alexander Bublik over in Madrid. I didn't think he'd get as far as he did, but he was really, really good. Alex Michelsen, Alexei Popyrin, even Andrei Rublev. Yeah, can you believe that? Of course we can. Fell victim to Jakub Mensah in the round of 16, but that's alright. Like I said, I didn't even expect him to get past Rublev, but in hindsight, he was always going to win that game. But that's neither here nor there. Roman Safiullin looked terrible, and I repeat, looked terrible against Artur Rinderknech in the first round of Madrid. He looked that bad, it would have put me off taking him on the clay for the rest of the season. Pretty much for a good few years it was that bad. Artur Rinderknech, as we all know, has been shit out of form, and he made Safiullin look like a scrub. He really did. I'd be willing to side with Alexander Bublik in this one, especially at that price. Best of luck to you if you're taking it. I don't think I'm brave enough. I might just take him for a set as a parlay piece. That'll do me. But yeah, I'll be going with Bublik on that one. And then we've got Lien, Riley Opelka. And Lien, yeah, you pay your money, you take your choice. Bookies don't even know who's going to win this one, folks. They've never played each other before. Just go off what you know. Is Opelka going to turn up fully fit and just save this lad off the court and just beat him with pure aggression and pace? If he's going to do that, then he probably beats Lien, and I don't see Lien having an answer for it. But I'm sick of talking about it with Riley Opelka. I've said it a few weeks ago, and I'll just say it again probably for the last time, but he's at that point in the season now, and he's at that point. I feel like he had us all fooled with the resurgence at the start of the year. He looked really good, and then, this was the inevitable decline. Is where he's at now. Lien is on a 3-game losing streak, telling Greek Sport, Marcus Giron, and then some kid over in Portugal. I don't know, it's a tough one. Like I say, it's a contrast in styles, isn't it? You go off what you know with Riley Opelka, and he's never been that good on the clay. He's never really amounted to much on the clay. It's too soon to say with Lien. He has went 2 and 4 on the surface this year. Did get to the the junior French Open or whatever. Well, I know that means fuck all, but it's not like he's that bad on the clay. He's just never really done it at tour level. There you go with what you know with Opelka. I just think, look, Opelka just doesn't move well. It doesn't matter where he is, what surfaces, what time of day it is, or the time of year. He just doesn't move well anymore. Lien is like a Duracell rabbit on that court. He is all over the place. I think he's got more than enough. I do. these odds are split right down the middle. I'm seeing them at like 1.9 and 1.9 a pair. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen between Lien and Riley Opelka. You say an overspot? I think they cancel each other out perfectly. They really do. I could see either one just getting it done like that, but then I could see it getting dragged out, and it's sort of shifting lanes, going all the way. I'm gonna stay off. I'm gonna stay off. I just thought I'd mention that one. I'd be interested to see what you think. And then, look, I've got one more for you, and then we'll do the stragglers. We'll do this one, and then we'll do the stragglers. We've got Jacob Fearnley, Fabio Fognini. Now it will just be a quick one to wrap this up. I'm gonna go and chill and watch PSG and Arsenal in this Champions League. But yeah, Jacob Fearnley around 1.4 as a favourite. Now I agree with that. I know that Jacob Fearnley is a better player in the current day than the Italian Andy Murray. But what did I say at the start of the season? What I've been saying every now and then throughout the weeks. We're not in Rome yet. We're not in Rome yet. We're now in Rome. And it's time. It's time for some Fabio Fognini fuckery. Pure alliteration for you there. I didn't even mean that, but it's so true. You know what's going to happen. I think that spread is around 3.5. You can get it at 4.5. I'm pretty sure I've seen 4.5 somewhere when it opened. Call it 3.5 for now. It's the first round, and you know he's going to do something. He shouldn't. He shouldn't get away with it. Jacob Fearnley should turn up and just wipe the floor with this guy. But every single person with a seat in that arena is going to be cheering for Fabio Fognini. You know it's true. You know it's true. I don't know how Jacob Fearnley is going to react to that. Now, I'm not saying he's incapable of dealing with the pressure. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's going to be, you know how it's going to be. It gets crazy sometimes, doesn't it? Especially with these home players. Especially with someone like Fognini. I mean, he's been around for time and he gets the love, especially from the Italians. I'm not telling anyone to take Fabio Fognini on the spread. I just want everyone to keep a close eye on it. Because I've been waiting for this for a couple months. I've been seeing Fabio Fognini pop up every now and then, and I always go against them. This is the time. This is the prime time spot for some fuckery. I repeat, prime time for some fuckery. I would love Jacob Fearnley to go out there and win this game. I genuinely believe he does go out there and win this game at 1.4. I'd be more than willing to put it on a parlay, but I do not think I'm brave enough. If something goes wrong with this match tomorrow, I don't want to have to tell myself that, well, I told you so, you know. Just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it, and we'll rendezvous tomorrow and we'll talk about it, see what's happened. But I do think Jacob Fearnley gets that one done. And then time for the stragglers, folks. So obviously, if there's one that's not in the timestamp, it'll be within here. Just going to go through them really, really quick, because quite frankly, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going to happen with these. If you have anything, let me know as we go along. I'm just going to quick fire them really fast. Thomas Barrios Vera, Jarry Munar. Jarry Munar, 1.5, 1.6. Currently on a 3-game losing streak. He's only won 3 games of his last 10. That's dating back to the Indian Wells. You know, considering this guy is a clay dude, he's went 2-6 on the surface this year. Thomas Barrios Vera has went 22-9, and he looked rather okay in qualifying too. Billy Harris, Valentin Royer. Jarry Munar has just been beat by Valentin Vachereau over on the Challenger Tour, and he got beat by none other than Roberto Bautista Agut over in Madrid. I do not like the look of that. It would be Thomas Barrios Vera or not, and he's a dog too. So you let me know. You tell me. Luca Nardi, Flavio Cobolli, 2 Italians. No one's going to want either one of these to lose tomorrow. It should be a good one. I do know that Flavio Cobolli is a lot better than Luca Nardi, but the head-to-head is actually 2-1 to Luca Nardi. So I don't know what we're going to do with this. He's won 3 of his last 10, and that's dating back to the Indian Wells also. Flavio Cobolli has won 7 of his last 10 games. Now, the fact that I'm saying he's won 7 of his last 10 games shows you the improvements this lad has made since the start of the season. He couldn't even win one. He could barely win one. Now look at him. Ever since Bucharest, he's been fucking flying. Something has definitely clicked for this lad, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it too. I think he gets past Arnaldi. I really do. Last time they played was the start of the year over in Auckland on the hard court, and he had to pull out of that one. That was one of his stinkers. So that went the way of Arnaldi, but like I said, I do think he's better. He should be getting that one done. Artur Rinderknech, Matteo Gigante. I just go with Gigante. 1.7. He's ranked like twice as high as him. I know. It's a rough one. Gigante 6-3 on the clay this year, 13-10 overall. Artur Rinderknech 6 wins, 15 losses. Fucking, that's quite dumb, is it not? That's quite dumb to say the least. Not impersonal, bro, but it just is. Just can't get a win unless it's like Roman Safiullin or Mark Leal. Yeah, you just can't buy a win. Can't buy a win. Matteo Gigante is just coming off a final over, well, the Rome Challenger title. Good stuff there. And then went 1-1 in the Challenger after that. Clearly looking forward to his home Masters. He will definitely fancy himself in this. If I was Matteo Gigante and I seen the format Rinderknech was in, I would definitely fancy myself too. So watch this space. I would imagine Gigante gets that one done. How much favour he gets is up to him, but this is most definitely his to lose, mark my words. And then we've got Carballes Baena, Sebastian Ofner. It's too soon for me to know it's Sebastian Ofner. It just is. I know what I'm going to get from Carballes Baena. If you can't take him early doors on the clay, you can never take him at all. So I would be leaning towards that. Usually I'd be leaning towards that, but Sebastian Ofner is 1.5 as a favourite. Everyone writ him off against Yannick Hanfmann, and he just dusted him aside in straight sets. That was a tiebreaker in the first, very good tiebreaker as well, and then 6-2 in the second. Like I say, I haven't seen much of him. It's been quite some time since I've seen Sebastian Ofner play at an acceptable level, if you will. But it's kind of looking like he's back. I won't lie to you. Say this is amongst the stragglers because I'm not too sure. If Carballes Baena goes out and beats him, especially at a dog price, we'd go, we knew it was going to happen. But I don't know, Sebastian Ofner's tricky, man. He's tricky. He's a he's very strong opponent when he's fully fit and when he's on his game. I think it's just a little bit too soon to know whether he is or whether he isn't. So with that being said, we will wrap this shit up officially with Matteo Bellucci and Pedro Martinez. Getting Martinez 1.7. I expected him to be a favourite, even if it is just a slight favourite. They've never played each other before, and I don't think it matters. Both of these are bang out of form. Do you stick with what you know with Pedro Martinez, how good he is on the clay, or do we gamble on the unknown with Matteo Bellucci, which is what I always say about this guy? Very high ceiling. He can come out very aggressive, and he's one of them. If you start getting behind in the count against a guy like this, especially in his home tournaments, he's going to be more than up for it. He'll be up for this more than ever, especially today. Very, very short dog, 2.2. I think he can do it. I know Martinez is good on the clay and he's very trustworthy on the clay, but like I said, he's been shit out of form this season. Matteo Bellucci isn't in the greatest form. He's not. He's won 2 of his last 10. 3 of his last 10, pardon me. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. But the same can be said for Pedro Martinez. 3-5 on the clay, 6-8 on the clay for Pedro. 10-15 overall, 11-15 for the Italian. Very fine margins. I would go with Matteo Bellucci for a set with him being at home, but I'm not picking that with much conviction. Fully aware of what Pedro Martinez is about on the day, and I don't fancy fucking about with him, especially in the first round. So I'm just going to stay away from it. I think that does us. We've went through them all. Yeah, 100%. That's every one of them done. So that's your lot. That'll do you. Very well then. I'll be saying good night to you, folks. You take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourselves. You take care of one another. Most importantly, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you're going for. Best bets, all that stuff. Tennis, baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm always interested to know what your thoughts are. Just double checking, yeah, that's all. Sound. Happy days. Don't know what I'm going for. As always, I should have mentioned, if it's anything I'm going for personally, it'll be in the pinned comments. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. Share your thoughts with the group. Don't be a stig on your picks. We all like winners. But alright then. I'll see you in a bit, yeah. Let's go get that cash again today. Enjoy the matches, and I'll see you tomorrow.